Welcome in, my friends. 5 minutes with Sean, maybe 10. We are getting started here. Today, I want to talk to you guys about what I like to call real partnerships, okay? Real partnerships to me are ones that are beneficial for both sides and are long standing. And I think there's a certain way to develop those. Here at Carbiz, we are celebrating our 12th year in business. And along the way, we've been through a lot of different clients, but we still hold on to 75% of the same people we started working with 12 years ago. And I think it's possible because of a couple things. One, I believe that when you're a solid partner and you do exactly as you say you're going to do, for instance, we have never missed a deadline at this company. 12 years, hundreds of clients. Never, ever, ever have we missed a deadline at which we are paid to hit. It's never happened. So I think consistency is a big thing for long-term partnerships, real partnerships, okay? That's the part. Beneficial for both, I think, is, like I said earlier, that's another one that's easy to get by, right? So beneficial for both obviously is beneficial for us because we're growing a business, but we're also supporting the businesses that we work with, right? We're trying to help them innovate, trying to help them accomplish more. And I think it's safe to say that when you're in a real partnership, you can begin to really see what is good or bad in the next partner. That is what my partners have taught me about what makes a great partnership, is that when you're working with someone that you truly enjoy working with, it makes it a lot easier to do the job. Another huge part of this for me is mutual respect. And what's important to us is important to them and vice versa. Mutual respect is that's how we speak to one another. You know, I don't get late night texts. I don't get rage texts. I don't get pissy emails. I get questions. I get people asking for help. You know what I'm saying? That is true partnership. People who fire off shitty, toxic texts at 10 o'clock at night, there's no room for you here anymore. I say anymore because, you know, when we started this business, we could not be picky. 12 years in, you bet your ass we can be picky. And we are. You know, I had a deal that I looked at the other week, and honestly, I did not want it to close after having met with the people because it was like, this isn't going to be a good fit for me. And that's okay to say because not everyone is for everyone. But when you find people who work together for the same goal, which is to make that business better, the sky is the limit. Literally, the sky is the limit. I say healthy, right? In that same way, because healthy relationships, even in business, are possible. And they're based on, as mentioned, respect, as mentioned, deadlines. But the other healthy part about it is if they want, you know, if they're doing something important for them and their community, if you can get behind them, get behind them. And when you do something for your community or for your business, they get behind you. That's what we're fortunate to have, right? One of our largest partners, well, it's our largest partner in Madison, Wisconsin, Zimrick Automotive Group. We share with them in their triumphs, right? They want to do they do a yearly huge campaign to raise money for a local, you know, a local charity, I guess the best way to say it. And we get behind it, right? We come off and we throw our event in Madison and they get behind it. That's what I'm talking about. What I don't like is a one-way street. For instance, we had partners back in the day that went through a hurricane. We comped their price for 3 months. After the third month, they canceled us. Now, I understand cancellations. I'm in the game. That's not what this is about. This is about the fact that we went out of our way to comp you bills for 3 months, and on the fourth month, you decided to fire us. Why? Well, because they're a poorly run organization, A. B, because clearly they don't have mutual respect. And C, people look out for themselves mainly. It's a hard truth. It's a shitty truth, but it's fucking true. People typically look out for themselves first. Our organization does our best, our very best every time to put the client first. Always. Does that mean the client's always right? That is not what I said. Absolutely not. but it doesn't mean you don't hear them out and speak to each other with respect. With respect. Consistency and respect, I think, go further than anyone could possibly imagine, especially in business. Obviously, very much in personal relationships as well. But in business, they can really go. Another thing I've learned from long-term partnerships is that they provide you an opportunity of stability to go off in other directions and try to grow your businesses in different ways, knowing that you have a very stable partner, especially for small businesses. Stable partners are key. We are not in the churn business here at Carbiz Done Better. I got no use for that. We don't have enough people for that. So we've never had a sales organization. We've never chased leads in that way. We used to go to shows. We don't. We throw our own now. And that show actually makes everybody else deals who attends it except for our organization. And you know what? That's okay. Not everything that I do is about trying to sell something. As a matter of fact, people criticize me all the time for my social media and this show alone because I don't sell anything on this show. But what I do is I educate and I talk about what I see every single day doing what we do. And we're going to get into that here in the next couple of shows. I can assure you that because the education of where we're developing new ideas and new products is coming directly from dealers. And when things get tighter, as they are now, and will likely continue to be, you've got to have a plan. You've got to have a plan not only for your business, but if you help other businesses, you better have a plan for those. And I find myself getting business plans for my clients ready before I have my own, because our own, we're a pretty stable organization 12 years in. We just are. And that's what has allowed us to take chances and to grow. But the only real way that that happens is because we have seriously committed long-term partners. As a matter of fact, both our largest clients, two of our longest standing relationships, we're in the middle of a complete redevelopment with those relationships based on what they need now and what we can provide now. That's when a company doesn't even go out and look for another option, they come directly to you. That's how you know you've really got something special. So I ask you, go back and look at the relationships you have and see if you're in the churn business where you just need to keep signing accounts because they keep canceling. Or if you're in the long-term value-added partnership. Because I think you'll find a lot of folks are in the churn business, and partnerships aren't something that are developed typically by reps that are there for 3 months and gone, if you get my drift. Partnerships are meant to be built between the people who run the organizations. And you hope the people who work there stay there. But I think we all know that the fact of the matter is partners work with partners, right? And that's, again, we don't have reps at this company. When you work with my particular part of the company, you work with me. When you work with our CRM brand, you work with our CRM boss. When you work with social, you work with the illustrious Jeff Hunter. Okay? That's how it works. That's how we've designed it. Now, many people want to scale bigger than that so they can't do that. We get that. That's not who we are. That's the other difference. We know who we are. I ask you, my friends, do you know who you are? That's a quick almost 9 minutes worth of the show today. As you know, it's 5 minutes, maybe 10. I do my best to stay within it. Go out, have yourself a wonderful middle of June. I am heading out of here on birthday week, time off, time away. It is time to get after some rest and relaxation in nature, as you all know I love to do. Hope you guys get to do some of the same. Have yourselves a wonderful week.